And what a fabulous scene. It's like a feast for the senses that we're watching here from our commentary position on the opposite side of Wembley Stadium. So we're out in the open, unusually. If you're normally listening to us on 5 Live, we're normally tucked away in our commentary box, but we're out exposed to the elements. We can see the white arch high above the roof of Wembley Stadium, and the focus of the world is on that arch and on this stadium. And to our right, a huge crown has been unveiled by the Borussia Dortmund supporters, which is sitting on top of their yellow and black mosaic, as all of those workers who are doing a tremendous job down there on the pitch, they're peeling back the carpet, the blue carpet that was on the playing surface, while Lenny Kravitz and Cole were doing their stuff, and the Real Madrid supporters to our left, all in white. I mean, that is an absolute bank of white over the 3 tiers of Wembley Stadium to our left. So the players break away from the halfway line and then move towards their own sets of supporters. Borussia Dortmund in their first choice colours, the yellow and black, die Schwarzen Gelben as they call them, and the final segments of the carpet on this side of the field are now being pulled off the field by dozens and dozens of people, all wearing black. It's like a military operation that we're watching here, as the listeners to the BBC World Service join us here at Wembley Stadium for what is the 69th final in this great competition. It is the 8th that is being played here at Wembley Stadium, which extends this stadium's record as the stadium that has hosted it more than any other. And this is Real Madrid's first here at Wembley Stadium, the record winners, the 14 times champions, against Borussia Dortmund, who were last in the final the last time it was here at Wembley 11 years ago. Let me run you through the teams. Borussia Dortmund, same teams that played in the 2 legs of the semi-final. Kobel, the goalkeeper, Ryerson, Hummels, Schlotterbeck and Maatsen. So the Chelsea loanee at left back. Then in midfield, the captain Chan and Sabitzer, Julian Brandt, Jadon Sancho on loan from Manchester United, Adeyemi, the flying Adeyemi on the left, and big Nicholas Füllkrug up front. And the Borussia Dortmund players looked as though they were lining up for the start of the game, and have actually run through the Real Madrid players into their half to run towards their supporters and are applauding them. That's an interesting tactic, Chris Sutton. I've never seen that before.
No, I've not seen that as well. Yeah, the tides changed ends after the toss, and the Dortmund players, I don't think their support needs much sort of
whipping up,
roasting up, John.
But the Real Madrid players were kind of looking at one another as the Borussia Dortmund players ran past them, as if to say, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing? So that was an unexpected preamble. The referee, Slavko Vincic, blows his whistle, and off we go for the 2024 UEFA Champions League final here at Wembley Stadium. As the ball is played back to goalkeeper Kobel, all in orange, who puts his right foot through it, and Adeyemi can't keep it in, and someone's run onto the field here. A spectator's run onto the field, and he's actually run to Jude Bellingham, and he's taking a selfie with Jude Bellingham, and he's still running around. And where are the stewards? He's still on the pitch, and now he's having a photograph taken with Vinicius, and now he's running off the field. What a bizarre thing to do that is, and he's not yet being challenged.
There's another one,
and someone else has run on the field as well on the far side, and finally the stewards, and somebody else has run on from the left as well, and he's got a white shirt on, and he's just run around with his arms up in the air, and he's now being captured by some steward, and somebody else is running on now. Well, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is it. And this individual has jumped and done a Ronaldo-style celebration, and one man in a suit is on the field running after him. I mean, I can't understand why more security people aren't coming onto the field to sort these people out.
No, absolutely spot on though. But it only takes a few idiots to spoil it for everybody else. And you know, from the players' perspective, it's about trying to just stay focused and on the job.
Courtois,
enormous game.
This fella's still running around on the field, and Courtois went towards him, which and now his steward is and actually you've got to be careful here. Sabitzer has come across, and Sabitzer has pushed him over. The players.
I think he slipped. I think he slipped a bit before. Sabitzer. I can understand that frustration, though. There'll be so much adrenaline. The players, they've worked so hard to get there, and you have an idiot running on the pitch.
Well, I was just going to say as well, after the troubles that we've had at recent finals, not least the Stade de France when you and I were there a couple of years ago, how good it feels that it appears that everything's gone to plan, and then this happens, and we're in the 3rd minute now, and I think we only had about 90 seconds play before these 3 pitch invaders came on, and it appears that when they come on you think, well, is this going to be something that has got a political edge to it? But it just appears that it was 3 individuals who'd probably had too much to drink. So off we go again, and a free kick given by the referee on the halfway line for a challenge on Jude Bellingham. That's the first heavy challenge on Bellingham, who climbs to his feet. He's okay. Here's Vinicius on the left hand side. Vinicius gets away from Ryerson, still going, but as he taps the ball, it takes a deflection actually out of play off Hummels, and it's a throw into Real Madrid on the left, and Vinicius is fired up there. He's exhorting the Real Madrid fans behind the goal to our left to make more noise at that end. It was throwing to Dortmund actually.
Yeah, early sign there from Vinicius. I think we'll see Real Madrid be pretty flexible. They'll be a 4-4-2. And Vinicius, 4-3-3 as well. Vinicius will come out to this left-hand side, and when he gets on the half-turn and drives at defenders, Borussia Dortmund will have to make sure they're watchful and doubling up when that does happen.
Just 5 Live from the BBC. The World Service are with us as well, wherever you are in the world, and listen also as well via the BBC Sounds app, which you will need for the Euros coming up. But 0-0, Dortmund and Real Madrid. Here's Rudiger playing the ball back into the penalty area. Courtois, only his 5th appearance of the season after the knee injury that's kept him out for almost the whole campaign. He's able to pass it out of the penalty area. He's had some great nights, hasn't he, in this competition, Thibaut Courtois. And Jurgen Klopp is up in the stands. One of those performances was against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, when he played brilliantly in that final. So Klopp, he had to watch his old club, Borussia Dortmund, from up in front of one of the hospitality boxes, and watching Real Madrid, all in white, come forward. Vinicius, a crossfield pass from him out to the far side. Carvajal gets involved, that comes back to him. His cross is deflected down towards the byline, and Borussia Dortmund are able to clear it. Maxson was able to get there and volley it downfield towards Brandt, and then out of play it bounces for a throw into Borussia Dortmund on the far side. Yeah, the Real Madrid side, as we expected, Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Rudiger, Nacho and Mendy, Camavinga in for the injured Tchouameni, Valverde and Kroos, Bellingham, Rodrigo and Vinicius. I think the smoke from all of the fireworks and pyrotechnics is just about cleared, and after that stoppage, that annoying early stoppage, we're in the swing now. Here's Sabitzer down the right hand side, in comes the cross, but Rudiger gets up and is able to head it down and away out to comparative safety, where Bellingham actually loses possession, gives it away. Sancho out to the right hand side, the Norwegian right back, Ryerson with the cross, Mendy blocks that out of play. First corner of the match at the Dortmund end for Dortmund.
Yeah, Ryerson did really well initially, closing Jude Bellingham down, and then the ball popped out right. Tries to get a cross in, goes behind for a corner, and you feel this is an opportunity for Borussia Dortmund. They'll be watching, Real Madrid will be watching Mats Hummels very, very closely.
Yeah, Hummels scored in the second leg of the semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain. Big full krug is there, causing a nuisance. And here's Brandt with the cross. Glance header across goal from Schlotterbeck, which is cleared away. It's Fulkrug actually who did get his head to that, glanced it across the penalty area, but Real Madrid are able to deal with it, and they've got it back. So Chris Sutton sitting to my left, Champions League player, Champions League goal scorer, played in a European final for Celtic. And Paul Clement sitting to my right, Premier League manager, long-time assistant to Carlo Ancelotti. We'll get a word from Paul in a moment. But here's Vinicius on the left-hand side, halfway inside the Dortmund half. Vinicius loses out to Ryerson. Now Sabitzer, and Mendy's in with a challenge, and out it goes on the halfway line. Early thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, lively start, a few strong tackles going in. Madrid slightly more possession of the ball, and then that counter-attacking pace of Dortmund, and obviously the strength at the set plays. Really good atmosphere in the stadium. Hasn't really found any real rhythm yet, the game, but interesting start.
Yeah. If only every big match could have an atmosphere like this, as Kobel, the goalkeeper, clears it, and actually it's almost charged down by Rodrigo, and in the end deflected out of play off Bellingham for a throw-in to Dortmund, halfway inside their own half. And just another word, Paul, as you mentioned, Bellingham pulling out to the left-hand side, when they come forward in a more central position, but he's got dual roles to play.
Yeah, flexible system for Madrid. So 4-4-2 defensively, where Bellingham moves out to the left, Vinicius and Rodrigo, the two front players. You can see it now, back four midfielders with Bellingham on the left, Vinicius and Rodrigo up front, and then when they win the ball back,
as Dortmund come forward with full crud, but it bounces away, takes a deflection back to Courtois.
When they win the ball back, you'll see Vinicius move out to the left, as Chris has already mentioned, Rodrigo through the middle, Bellingham goes more central with Valverde, and Cruz and Camavinga, two pivots really in midfield.
So Paul Clement and Chris Sutton with us on 5 Live in the World Service. Here's Kroos with the ball deep inside his own half, his final club appearance. Toni Kroos out to Mendy, who just taps it back into the penalty area to Courtois, and Rudiger is able to shuffle it forward. Rudiger, Champions League winner with Chelsea and Porto, long ball from him, Bellingham gets his head to it, but it just bounces all the way through to goalkeeper Kobel, who underarms it out to Maatsen, who's done ever so well for Borussia Dortmund after his loan move. Didn't really get a look in at Chelsea in the first half of the season, but here he is in the Champions League final. It's funny how it goes, isn't it?
Well, you think he was at Burnley, wasn't he?
Last season.
Yep. Dortmund want to get that deal done and sign him permanently. He's had a very good season.
Schlotterbeck heading it forward for Dortmund. It comes back to the number 4, left-footed volley over the halfway line. Sabitzer challenging for that. Sabitzer, the former Manchester United man, but Rudiger's able to get his head to the ball, nod it down, and Carvajal now on the right-hand side. Carvajal, like Luka Modric on the bench, could play in a 6th European Cup Champions League winning team here today. 0-0 early stages. Camavinga doing very well, winning the ball back for Real Madrid, and here it is now on the left-hand side with Nacho, the captain, the long-serving Nacho Fernandez, 34 years old, been with Real Madrid since he was 11 years old, and this is only the second time he's actually played in the Champions League final. Back it goes to Nacho, who turns it back to Courtois. And this noise that's coming out of the end to our right from the Borussia Dortmund supporters is absolutely deafening. Rudiger, as Real Madrid move away from that end of the stadium. Carvajal slips it forward now to the right-hand side to Valverde, who is sandwiched between two Borussia Dortmund players. The referee Vincic says he went down far too easily, and the ball just runs through to Kobel.
Yeah, I think he did go down too easily. Carvajal, will see him play very high up on that right-hand side. The Madrid right back, and Valverde just made a run on the inside, poked the ball around Schlotterbeck, but looked for the foul. Wasn't a foul.
Schlotterbeck was unsettled by Valverde, almost lost his footing inside the penalty area, just managed to get it away left-footed and out of play for a throw into Real Madrid. Valverde was all over him there, he sniffed the danger, so it's out of play for a throw-in that Carvajal is going to take. Carvajal, I remember him having to go off early injured in the Kiev final against Liverpool. Back it goes to the halfway line. Camavinga, then back into the Real Madrid half where Kroos is stationed up towards Bellingham. Bellingham gets a little shove in the back from Chan, but Real Madrid still in possession.
Chan's really paying Bellingham close attention. Walloped him, didn't he, with his first challenge early on, and that ball's on its way. He's getting so close to him. They do not want him dictating this game.
Toni Kroos, it's one of those passes out to the right-hand side, which is headed by Carvajal to Valverde. Carvajal again in the Dortmund left-back position, into the penalty area. Lovely touch from Bellingham, but then a wild shot by Valverde, who was off balance. He was twisting, and he blazed it away high and wide into the Real Madrid fans. 0-0.
Yeah, nice and slick though. Ball out to the right-hand side. Bellingham laying the ball back to Valverde. He's never set off balance, and the shot, left-footed, goes high and wide over Koval's crossbar.
So it is 0-0. First time in 4 seasons there's been no English club involvement in the Champions League final. But these fans from Madrid and from Dortmund have made this a real occasion here at Wembley Stadium. And Rudiger to Kroos, and then the bobbing hair of Camavinga with his pass through the middle. Good pace on that to Bellingham centrally. Passed it out to the left-hand side to Vinicius, taking on Ryerson, who leans into him. Still Vinicius, but Ryerson does well. He got support there from Hummels as well, one of the great servants of German football, Mats Hummels. Ryerson then forward. Now on the right-hand side with Sabitzer, but he's got 3 Real Madrid players around him. However, he's done extremely well, Sabitzer, to find the pass to Sancho, who was then just caught. I think it was a tap on the ankles from Camavinga. It's a free kick to Dortmund, and referee Vincic comes off just to have a word. I think there'll be no more than that with Camavinga.
Yeah, and I think we know how the Dortmund fans feel about that challenge. They feel there should have been a yellow card there for Camavinga.
Sancho wins the free kick. Just about the first time he's been involved in the match, Jadon Sancho. Here he'll feel, of course, won't he, that back in England, having been left out of the Euros squad as well, despite his revitalised form with Dortmund here at Wembley Stadium. The stadium, of course, where he missed the penalty, or had the penalty saved in the shootout at the end of the Euros final 3 years ago. That he can make a very big point. Long pass forward for Füllkrug, I think was in an offside position, no flag yet. Back to the edge of the area, Brandt into the box with a shot across the face of goal, and there's no offside flag.
I'm with you, John. I don't know what Paul thinks of him. We're in a great position here. I thought it just moved a little bit too early. Well, it's touch and go when the ball is played. The timing of his run has to be near perfect, because he's not the quickest. He's more of an old-fashioned, shall I say, type of centre-forward. Nothing wrong with that, John. He actually links up well with Brandt, who smuggles the ball wide of the far post.
No, it was definitely tight. It would have been interesting if they'd scored there, whether it had been on or not. I was right in line with it. It was difficult to tell, but good attack there, getting in behind the Real Madrid defence.
And on Füllkrug, Chris, old-fashioned, and he's got a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Borussia Dortmund supporters, but he is their joint top scorer this season. I think every time he's on the point of being left out, he then gets a goal. As Kroos swings a pass to the right-hand side, Carvajal brings it down, knocks it back to Valverde, and the Uruguayans ball in towards the edge of the area, and a curling shot in the end. He got the ball under control, Vinicius, right side of the area, but it went flying away across the face of goal and wide.
Yeah, but that opportunity arises because of Kroos and the quick switch, 30-40 yard ball out to Carvajal, who's marauding on that right-hand side. Ball comes back, and the shot wayward. Again, he's just so accurate, Toni Kroos, and he makes those long passes. That looks so easy.
That's how I will remember him in years to come. When you talk about Toni Kroos, I will think of him in that body position, hitting passes like that, as Mendy certainly tests Courtois with a back pass as well. And now it's applause in unison from all of those Dortmund fans. The flag's still waving, yellow and black everywhere. They really have brought the Gelber Wand with them from their home stadium. Madrid with the ball on the edge of the area. Rudiger back to Courtois, who calmly passes it left-footed out towards Carvajal, who takes it down. Rudiger again, little ball to Camavinga, who was very nearly caught out by Füllkrug, but was able to recover. And then Nacho with a clearance away that bounces for Bellingham, who's able to watch it onto his chest. And Bellingham now strides over the halfway line, takes the ball down the left flank. He's got Vinicius to his left, and he uses him as well. And the Real Madrid number 7 is challenged by Hummels. So his chance there, Hummels. In he went for the challenge, put it out of play for a throw.
You know what? That's not really where he wants to be. Mats Hummels dragged out on that left-hand side, or on his right-hand side, against Vinicius in 1v1 situations. The 2 times he has been dragged out, has actually won the challenges.
It's his 508th appearance for Borussia Dortmund today, Mats Hummels, and never mind the games for Bayern Munich as well in the times that he had there, a couple of spells at Munich as the ball's played over the top for Real Madrid, but there's no one there in a white shirt, and Kobel is able to field that quite comfortably and pass it out to the aforementioned Mats Hummels. A little bitter that he's not in the German squad for the Euros, Mats Hummels. He said, I can't believe I'm not one of the best 5 defenders in Germany. And I have a bit of sympathy with him.
Yeah, he probably has a fair point, especially with his form towards the end of the season.
Yeah, there are a few of them who've been left out of the Euro squads in this Dortmund team. Maxson's another one, actually, not in the Dutch squad. Here's Valverde playing the ball back into the right back position. Carvajal is being challenged by Adeyemi, but is able to do extremely well and take it, beat Adeyemi, then Camavinga, long left-footed pass from him out to Vinicius on the left-hand side. Ryerson goes very tight, Ryerson with his bleached blonde hair, then back to the clean side parting of Toni Kroos, and now Jude Bellingham just 10 yards inside the Dortmund half. Camavinga sweeps a pass now to Carvajal on the right-hand side, then back towards the halfway line again for Real Madrid. A dummy by Vinicius, but strong challenge from Sabitzer on Jude Bellingham. He went in there, I think he got the ball and the man, and the referee has brought it back for the free kick for Real Madrid. Bellingham's still on the ground.
Yep, I mean, certainly Dortmund paying Bellingham close attention. Clever little over from Vinicius Junior. I actually think Sabitzer gets the ball there. I think Dortmund harshly done by.
I think if anything, it was Bellingham's challenge on Sabitzer. Free kick, which has been taken short by Real Madrid. Whistles from the Dortmund fans. They'll be feeling that they've been hard done to there, and are making their opinions known. Back it goes again towards the halfway line on what is actually a coolish night here at Wembley Stadium. Overcast. Just has a feeling there might be rain in the air. Nacho.
Yeah, I don't think the rain would be any surprise, John, with weather in recent times. Blimey, it hasn't stopped raining in North Norfolk.
Felt like March sitting here inside Wembley Stadium yesterday as Vinicius goes around Hummels, but Borussia Dortmund take possession. Chan, now here's Brandt. Brandt tried to play the ball through the Real Madrid backline for the run of Adeyemi. That's what they want, isn't it? Him to use his pace, the fastest player in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, he's blown hot and cold this season, Adeyemi. Got better the longer the season has gone on, but you're quite right. A Madrid high line, space in behind, and Brandt not on point with the pass.
Real Madrid back in possession. And really, neither goalkeepers had a save to make yet. Not made a note from that point of view. A couple of shots from around the edge of the area for Madrid that have been over and wide. Here is Rodrigo. Not really seen him get into the game yet. Then back to Bellingham. A couple of heavy challenges on him, or at least he's gone down a couple of times, Bellingham. But okay, scored last time he was here. Jude Bellingham for England. Valverde down the right. Carvajal now with a cross to the edge of the box. Bellingham was just ahead of it and couldn't adjust, take the ball down. Got something on it, but Dortmund bring it away, and Sancho wins the throw-in on the halfway line. 0-0.
Yeah, having a fair bit of joy, Paul, Madrid down that right-hand side with Carvajal getting on high.
Yeah, just interesting to see, first of all, how it's developing down Madrid's left, because they get these overloads down this left side with Vinicius, Rodrigo coming over, and Bellingham. I mean, Hummels, Ryerson, and also Sancho going to have a really strong game defensively to deal with them.
Pass from Hummels. Adeyemi's onto this. He's beaten the offside trap. Courtois comes out, forces him wide, and then he couldn't get the shot in. An excellent recovery from Carvajal, actually, to force him wide as well. That touch took him very wide inside the box, and there was no offside flag.
No, and it's the run from out to in. Carvajal tries to play him offside. He's onside. The ball from Hummels is absolutely perfect. Adeyemi goes round Courtois, takes a heavy touch, and the chance is gone. Madrid players get back and clear the danger, but they've got to be taking chances like that. The golden opportunity, a better first touch, and he rolls the ball into an empty net.
Take the corner short. Dortmund comes back to the edge of the area. Matsson's ball in, left-footed, but Courtois, he's dropped it. It's still in the area, but he's able to fall forward onto it, and he's got it safely. And Courtois as well, we should mention him. Paul, the way that he came out there, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, when Adeyemi was through.
Courtois done incredibly well there. I mean, he forced Adeyemi wide, and then the angle was poor, but That's the second time now that Dortmund have got in behind Madrid's back line, and that is the best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, they'll feel they should be in front, Chris. A little bit like Manchester United last week. Just feel the first goal very important for Dortmund.
I think he has such a heavy touch. He goes to go around Courtois, and then the angle is against him, and Madrid can get players back. A cuter first touch, a more secure first touch, and it's an easy finish. That is a massive opportunity, and Dortmund didn't take it.
Yeah, big moments like that, big games like this, you've got to take them. The underdogs with the first big chance, but now it's the favourites with Rodrigo, and Vinicius on the left-hand side beats Ryerson. He's on his right foot. The cross right across the penalty area, but straight for Madsen, who's able to turn, and then Adeyemi quick passes it to Brandt. They say he's having his best season, Julian Brandt, but he's not in the Germany squad either. Now Sabitzer over the halfway line, rode on by the black and yellow in the stands. Sancho, then back to Sabitzer, works it across the penalty area. Adeyemi with a shot. Wondered whether he might have been caught by the challenge that came in on him, but he wasn't able to get an attempt on goal. It's won back now by Dortmund, and Madsen again slips it through. Füllkrug hits the post, bounces back to him, and then he couldn't force it on goal from a very tight angle, and Dortmund hit the post through Füllkrug.
What a few minutes for Dortmund! Well, Courtois he actually does really well, Courtois, under pressure. But the last couple of minutes, Dortmund have had 3 opportunities. Madsen did well driving forward, fed the ball to Füllkrug inside the box, who prodded the ball past Courtois and agonisingly cannons off Courtois' left-hand post into safety.
Agonising for Dortmund, so close.
Incredible couple of minutes from Dortmund, right from that Adeyemi chance. They have another fantastic chance there. I'm not sure if Courtois got a touch on that. No, he doesn't. Hits the inside of the post. We'll just see it again now. It's wide of Courtois, hits the inside of the post. That is inches from bouncing in.
I mean, it actually bounces as well off the foot of the post and back across the face of goal to Füllkrug, who it was just too tight, the angle on the follow-up. I say another spectator, by the way, has just come over the hoardings, but the stewards were onto this and have stopped them getting anywhere near the playing surface. That's 4.
Well, I mean, it's absolute madness, isn't it? You think how good this game has been and how intense it's been, and he'll be lifted out, quite rightly so. Emre Can down for...
Yeah, he's sitting down in the middle of the half, Can, and Carlo Ancelotti over the far side he's called a few of his players over there, and there are some instructions here, and I wouldn't be at all surprised, Paul, if he's concerned about the way that the Borussia Dortmund have been able to find a way through the back line.
No, absolutely, he won't be happy that they're getting in behind the back of the defence. Dortmund have had the best chances of the game for sure, and are the better team at the moment.
I tell you what, I didn't realise as Füllkrug hit the post, what a pass it was from Madsen outside of the left boot, and Füllkrug not the quickest, but the timing of his run, they're excellent again, and he's just stretching a little bit with it.
We've still got a stoppage here, by the way, so all of the players have now gone across to the far side, apart from Can, who's receiving some treatment on his left knee. So this is a worry. This is the Borussia Dortmund captain we're talking about, former Liverpool man, who actually has lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid in Kiev back in 2018, and they certainly do not want to lose him from the midfield, and he's on his feet now, and he's being led off the field, and we'll see how he is, but there's definitely a bit of concern for him.
Yeah, well, as you well know, John, I often say this, I'm no medical expert, but he's not moving too well there. He's hobbling off, but they don't want to lose a player of his influence, Dortmund, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, particularly when clearly he's got a very specific role today in terms of playing up against Jude Bellingham. Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0. 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC, live from Wembley Stadium, the cradle of football, as the UEFA President Alexander Cheferin called it in tonight's match programme. the great occasions and great events that have happened here in this little area of North London, in amongst all of the regenerated flats and the old industrial units, and the North Circle are not far away, the other side of the Brent Canal, and Real Madrid with a throw on the far side back towards the halfway line. Here's Kroos forward towards Camavinga. Is Chan back on? Yes, he is. He's back on the field, the Dortmund captain. Ball to the left-hand side to Vinicius. Oh, he takes on and beats Ryerson. Left-footed ball across the edge of the 6-yard box, and a falling clearance, an exceptional falling clearance from Schlotterbeck to finish the danger.
You know what, he's got magic feet, hasn't he? Quick first touch of his right thigh and then goes past Ryerson. Such speed.
Borussia Dortmund are on the break again though. Real Madrid struggling here. Brandt through to Adeyemi, left side of the area, shoots low, Courtois saves. Fulkrug gets his head to it, but he was falling. He couldn't get any momentum on the header forwards, and Courtois was able to catch another Courtois save.
Well, and yet another chance, and Dortmund don't take it. I tell you what, the pace though from Adeyemi on that left-hand side. Left Carvajal for dead there. I think he takes another poor first touch, which takes him wider, and Courtois makes a decent save with his left hand, but had it been a better first touch and he'd had it more centrally, there would have been a better finishing opportunity, Paul.
Absolutely, Chris. Fantastic ball in behind. He's clear of Carvajal, and that first touch just reduces the angle, and then Courtois is able to make the save. I think a better first touch, he gets a better look at goal.
Yeah, Courtois, that's a very good save, and he's already played a part, Courtois. I bet Jurgen Klopp's sitting up there in the stands thinking he's doing it again, Courtois. Do you remember all those saves he made in the final at the Stade de France? Real Madrid coming forward, a diving header away by Hummels, who got to that ahead of little Rodrigo. And of course, don't forget, they're probably going to have Kylian Mbappe playing for them next season. Real Madrid. Here's Vinicius back towards Mendy infield, and then Camavinga back to the halfway line to Nacho. Right foot. Rudiger's going to have a wander forward now, out to the right-hand side. Real Madrid could easily be behind. Low ball in from Carvajal. That's cleared away, and it's kept in play down there in the left-back area by Adeyemi, and it's bounced off him. Actually, that's a little bit of a cheap corner they've conceded there. Bayern Munich's first, Real Madrid's first.
Yep, and Adeyemi with a poor touch, all high up in the air, took a touch to try and clear it upfield, and now Toni Kroos taking it, an out-swinging corner.
Yep, the German against the Germans, the former Bayern Munich man. An absolutely massive silver-covered image of the European Cup is being held up in the stands just behind where Kroos is waiting to take this. From the right-hand side, Real Madrid corner, Carvajal was after it, was just nicked away from him by a Dortmund head, and now they're going to break away downfield, which they do. Here's the ball for Sancho to chase. Black and yellow pouring forward. Sancho's ball right across to Brandt. Brandt now Adeyemi left side of the area. Mendy comes in with a challenge and does enough, just uses his body, leans into Adeyemi. It's good defending, and it bounces away through for a goal kick.
And do you know what? It's good attacking as well. Real Madrid's corner, and then they break. It's actually 6-on-3, and the ball wasn't the greatest from Sancho, and Mendy does really well to ease Adeyemi out.
Half an hour played here. Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0. Still waiting for the opening goal. We've had many more pitch invasions than we've had goals so far in this match. Last 4 finals have finished 1-0, Chris, in this great competition. It's like going back to the 70s and 80s. As Adeyemi goes down under the challenge from Valverde. There's a couple of rolls from him, and it is given as a free kick to Dortmund near the halfway line.
I don't remember the 70s that well, John.
I think I know you do. As Dortmund play this back into their own half. Chan seems okay after that knock on his knee. Yes, Sabitzer, who played in a cup final here at Wembley last season for Manchester United in the League Cup. Now to the right-hand side, Ryerson again, who's got his hands full when anyone who plays against Vinicius has got their hands full, but he's done well so far, the Norwegian. And now Dortmund again through the middle. Sancho couldn't find the pass. Camavinga blocked it out. Rodrigo was onto this, but Sabitzer just got a touch on that. And now again centrally, it is Jadon Sancho just knocks the ball back, exchanges passes with Sabitzer in the centre circle, still inside their own half. Borussia Dortmund, the winners back in 1997 when they beat Manchester United in the semi-finals. No one expected them to do that. Went to the final and won it in Munich against Juventus. Paul Lambert and all. Paul Lambert's going to be on with Colin Murray in the morning actually, so get a full debrief after 10 o'clock with Colin tomorrow morning. Your old teammate Paul Lambert, as Schlotterbeck turns on the halfway line and plays it back into his own half to the captain Chan.
Yeah, Paul Lambert's story incredible. Leaving Motherwell on a free, going out to Dortmund in the Champions League.
Dortmund again, Brandt, his pass, it's deflected away to the right hand side. Ryerson's into the penalty area, but Ryerson up against Nacho. Excellent defending from the Real Madrid captain. Now Sancho trying to find a way past Kroos and Mendy. I think Ryerson might have fouled Mendy, even though he was past him and crossed the ball in, which was cleared by Real Madrid. The whistle had gone and it's a free kick to Real Madrid, which has not gone down well in the stand to our right.
Yeah, Sancho initially, Toni Kroos comes out and doubles up. Sancho, and then Ryerson gets his body in. I actually think it's a bit of a soft one. Madrid get away with that. I tell you what though, if you're Dortmund and you're thinking about what would be the perfect game plan and how's it gone for the first 30 minutes, it's been near perfect, hasn't it? They just haven't taken their opportunities, which leads you to think that this is going to be Real Madrid's night. Wasted opportunities. I didn't think Dortmund would get too many. They've had numerous, and Courtois made a couple of decent saves, but the chances have been there for them.
Valverde now on the right hand side. Made a good start to the match, but it's gone a little quiet. Here he is again, the tall, slender Uruguayan. That's a lovely ball to Carvajal, who knocks it on, but I think he's got too much. He has. He's knocked it all the way through for a goal kick to Borussia Dortmund. It remains 0-0. What are you thinking now, Paul Clement?
Well, just looking at the clock and can't believe that almost 35 minutes have gone. It's been absolutely intriguing. Dortmund playing really well, growing and growing in confidence, getting chances on the counter-attack, and now getting more of the ball as well.
Kobel took a chance inside his 6-yard box, and actually Vinicius had every right to dive in on that, but he's yellow carded, he's booked for his challenge on Kobel. He was rolling around the goalkeeper, and I mean the ball was there for Vinicius to go for, but referee Vincic clearly believes he missed the ball and fouled the goalkeeper.
I think as a forward player is entitled to go for that. Kobel lets the ball run across his body. Vinicius Junior thinking, blimey, I got a chance of blocking this and it going in. Quite an aggressive run from the referee. Good sort of 10-yard dash to give him the card, wasn't it?
So that's the first yellow card of the final, and Kobel is still down. And they haven't sent on the medical people. In fact, he's up now. And the Real Madrid fans behind that goal telling exactly what they think of him.
I think Vinicius Junior saying, I didn't touch you. I don't think he got much of him, in truth. What's happened to goalkeepers these days, John?
Yeah, that wasn't like that in the 70s, Chris. Was it? 0-0. And Kobel, the Swiss international goalkeeper, whether he'll play for Switzerland or not, I would think it's probably going to be Jan Sommer, isn't it, who'd be the first choice, but we'll see. Long goal kick from him over the halfway line. Rudiger hoists that over his own head and out of play for a throw into Dortmund, just down in front of us. Well, it's been entertaining, but we're still waiting for the opening goal. Dortmund have had their chances, haven't they? Adeyemi, Fulkrug shooting against a post, and Hummels now playing it back to Kobel, and now the Real Madrid supporters are going to whistle every time Kobel's on the ball, and Vinicius herring around there again. He's able to get rid of it quickly, and then forward from Hummels to Ryerson, who's being challenged by Bellingham, and then Ryerson's able to hold off the titan that is Jude Bellingham, and Dortmund still have it inside their own half. There's a nice shimmy there from Madsen, and then a ball out over the top of Sancho, and out of play for a throw into Real Madrid halfway inside their own half. So Edin Terzic and Carlo Ancelotti continue to prowl around on the far side of the field. Carlo Ancelotti, immaculately turned out. He's got that cardigan on underneath his dark suit, dark tie, and here he is in a record-extending 6th Champions League final as a coach. Mendy passing the ball across his back line, and then Carvajal very coolly back to big Courtois, the Belgian. We'll not see him at the Euros either, Chris, not in the squad, despite the fact he's played the last 5 matches of the season for Real Madrid. Doesn't see eye to eye with Domenico Tedesco, the coach.
Well, I mean, that's such an odd decision, isn't it? I mean, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world.
One of the best goalkeepers in the world, but seemingly, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Here's Rudiger out to the right-hand side to Carvajal. Rudiger has to turn quickly. Füllkrug absolutely herring around. Wonder if it'll be Füllkrug or Havertz who starts up front for Germany at the Euros, as Vinicius is eased over by Ryerson. It's a free kick to Real Madrid, which they take quickly, although the referee says they've taken it in the wrong place. So Real Madrid will have to come back again. 0-0, and just 6 minutes or so to go to half-time. Back it goes to Kroos inside his own half. Rudiger receives it just right to the centre circle, and a long high ball from him, which is taken down on the right knee of Vinicius. Behind him to the left back, Mendy, who actually didn't play a full part in training last night, didn't play the whole of the session. Mendy, which made me wonder that he might have a little bit of an issue. Carvajal to the right hand side, worked back into the area, but that takes a bounce. Adiemi was back in there as well, the left winger, back helping out his left back Madsen, and winning a goal kick for Dortmund.
Yeah, I've got to say, Dortmund in those wide areas, Adiemi and Sancho have worked really hard defensively, got back, doubled up. He's got to be wary of the Madrid fullbacks. Carvajal has seemed to get on a lot more on that right hand side than Mendy off the left, Paul.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously Valverde will support Carvajal out on that right hand side, but on the left Mendy sits deeper, allows Vinicius and Bellingham to work out on that side.
Dortmund moving forward again. Sancho back to Ryerson on the right. Ryerson's ball across, cleared away by Camavinga inside the penalty area, left footed, out of play for a throw to Dortmund that Ryerson's going to take. Asks for the ball back. Apparently more stewards have arrived on the far side of Wembley Stadium from where we are now. Sancho bringing the ball infield, but runs into congestion. Bellingham is able to pass it away to Vinicius, who is nearly away from Ryerson, then goes down. Hummels is making it very clear with his hand gestures that he felt that was a dive by Vinicius. Ryerson's not happy about it either, and that's a yellow card, I presume, for Hummels, and the way that he...
I think it was Schlotterbeck, yeah.
So he must have said something out of turn.
I mean, it's a dive, and I understand the frustration. Vinicius Junior, Hummels does go to ground, but is a yard off him. He doesn't touch him. And Schlotterbeck, in all his anger with the award of the free kick, has to be careful now. But Borussia Dortmund, hard done by there. Vinicius Junior, John, he's better than that.
He is, yes. If we had a 606 tonight, which actually we don't, remarkably. It's not often you and I cover a match together when we don't have a 606. But it could be a long evening yet. 0-0 as the ball comes back halfway inside the Real Madrid half. But don't worry, there are lots of 606s on the way during the Euros. Yes, when you'll be able to hear blanket coverage, not only 5 Live, but right across the BBC, and the Football Daily will gear up. You'll hear that as well, the podcast every morning from all around Germany. Adiemi cuts out a pass from Kroos. Adiemi, though, is then challenged by Kroos, but he's found the pass to Brandt, the fair-haired Brandt, curls the pass, square, Sabitzer, 25 yards out, low shot, Courtois goes down and is able to, as he does that, push it away at right angles and behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a decent strike from Sabitzer, 25 yards out, lets the ball run across his body, hits a shot. I think Courtois, a comfortable save, actually chooses to parry it. I thought he could have gathered that in. Gives away the corner.
Dortmund, that's another chance for Dortmund. I've got nothing written down for Real Madrid yet in terms of attempt on target. So Brandt, hair held back by that thin band. Brandt, right-footed corner, in towards the penalty spot, headed away. I think it was Mendy who got to that. Sancho outside the box. He pulls it square to Maatsen. Now out to the left-hand side. Brandt's still there, puts his foot on the ball. Right-footed cross into the area, headed away by Camavinga. And out of play for a throw-in on the far side. I mean, they've simply not been fazed, Dortmund, by everything they're facing here. Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid, all those European Cups. They've been the better team.
Yep, absolutely. The only thing they've lacked is that finishing touch, that they have had numerous opportunities. They'll be scratching their heads at half-time. They aren't in front.
Another breeze just blows around inside Wembley Stadium. Dortmund have got the ball in the centre circle. The world is here. UEFA reckon that 450 million people will be involved in, I think it was the phrase was some media touch point, or something like that, some buzz phrase. Ryerson's ball down the right to Sancho. Sancho is away from Kroos, into the full-back position, pulls it across, Ryerson with a flick, but cleared away by a crouching Camavinga, which stopped the ball from reaching Sabitzer, and then Mendy goes down very easily.
That's pathetic from Mendy, it really is.
Oh, it's a yellow card for Sabitzer. I think he said something to the assistant, who was right there. It was right under his nose, and I think that's the second booking for dissent.
Yeah, but it's play acting. We saw it earlier from Vinicius Junior and Mendy. Sabitzer got tight to him. Was there sufficient contact for Mendy to go down in that manner? There wasn't. He's looking for the free kick. He's gotten it, but blimey, I mean that's a soft yellow card.
Certainly is. So Schlotterbeck and Sabitzer boot. Vinicius with the yellow card for Real Madrid. Valverde, that's a good pass. Diagonally to Vinicius on the left, and then that's an excellent challenge from Hummels, who met that. That was precision defending. He could not have timed that any better to take it off the toe of Vinicius. Via a deflection as well, and out for a throw to Dortmund.
Well, the ball from Valverde is brilliant. The ideal situation for Madrid. Vinicius Junior 1v1 with Hummels. Hummels doesn't want to be there. He has to get the challenge right. Little fist pump from Mats Hummels. The timing was perfect.
Superb from the 35-year-old Mats Hummels, who is a very, very impressive individual. As Maatsen is dispossessed, but Schlotterbeck was there to snuff out the danger after Valverde took it away from the Dutchman and smashed it out of play via a deflection for a throw into Dortmund halfway inside their own half. Let's bring in Paul Clement again, as actually one of the... Is it Schlotterbeck who's sat down? He has. He's got Schlotterbeck's got a problem. I think he might need some treatment. So that'll give you a little bit of time, Paul, to let us know what's on your mind.
Well, as we approach half-time, you have to say that Dortmund have been the better team. Created more chances, 8 attempts on target. 8 attempts, 2 on target to Real Madrid's 2 chances, 0 on target. And as the game's progressed, gradually up in the possession as well. Very confident. Real Madrid, I don't think have played well, certainly offensively. And Dortmund better side.
But are you like Chris Sutton, and I have to confess, me as well, to think that, as we're moving to 4 minutes of added time, to think that Dortmund might pay for not taking their chances?
Yeah, possibly. And I'm really intrigued what's happening over here on this side with the right back, Ryerson. I think if he gets isolated against Vinicius, he's in big trouble. And at the moment, Hummels is covering him well, and also Sancho's getting back and doing his work as well. They're really going to have to keep an eye on that, because Vinicius is so dangerous.
0-0, Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0, 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Here's Kroos in the centre circle. Kroos and pulls a pass right-footed to Mendy, who actually just had to backtrack there. So Vinicius won't get a run at Ryerson here. You do wonder about Norway, don't you? If they've got Ryerson, Haaland and Odegaard, how are they not at the Euros? Ball to the right-hand side to Carvajal. Then Bellingham, and back into the centre circle where Kroos will knock it into his own half. Kroos again to Rudiger. Just not being able to get into their rhythm like this anywhere near as often as you would expect Real Madrid. But now they've got a period of possession as they move over the halfway line again with Nacho. Then Kroos in this very deep-lying position on the halfway line. Valverde then lifts a pass out onto the chest of Carvajal. Bellingham is over there on the right-hand side now making a run, but Dortmund are able to deal with that. Header won by Brandt on the halfway line, but Real Madrid will have possession again inside their own half. We're in the second minute of added time at the end of this first 45 minutes. Must say, after all of the disruptions that we've had, a couple of injuries and those early pitch invaders, thought we might have had more than 4 minutes added on at the end of this first period. Rudiger's pass down the line, down the right wing to Bellingham, and then Bellingham is challenged well by Schlotterbeck, and Dortmund come out with the ball, and Brandt finds the pass to Füllkrug on the halfway line, then back to Sancho. He's got a little bit of space here, has a look over his shoulder, then sets off on a dash forward. Ryerson ahead of it. Ryerson receives it. Thought about the cross. Sancho's there as well, but Real Madrid are back in white numbers now. Ball from foot to foot from Sancho. Still going, the tricks of Sancho into Ryerson. He tries to do his Zidane turn on the edge of the area. That doesn't work. Zinedine Zidane is here inside the stadium. Don't think he'll be impressed by that. As Schlotterbeck now for Dortmund finds the pass to Adeyemi. Adeyemi up against Carvajal, chips it right across the 6-yard box, and Mendy chests it down and can't keep it in. I think that's given us a corner. It is corner to Dortmund.
Yeah, and can they get something from this corner? They deserve something, deserve the lead. Adeyemi did brilliantly on that left-hand side, got to the byline, stood up across, and putting it behind.
Well, they're trying to suck it in. The Borussia Dortmund supporters here. This noise is absolutely deafening as Dortmund have a corner at their end. Brandt just down in front of us to our right. Brandt's corner deep towards the far post. Rudiger gets there. Hummels wanted it, but Rudiger comfortably won it. But Matsson's able to take it on for Dortmund, and as the sliding challenge comes in from Bellingham, it's another corner to Dortmund, this time from the left-hand side. There will be time to take it. We're into the last 30 seconds of the 4 minutes of added time. This is Dortmund's 5th corner of the first half. Real Madrid have had just the one. What a time this would be for the underdogs to take the lead. Brandt very carefully places the ball in the quadrant, gets it exactly where he wants it. He's ready to swing this in, right-footed now. Here's the delivery, which is headed away by Valverde, and there's the whistle, and that is the whistle for half-time. 0-0, but Borussia Dortmund, Chris Sutton, will feel that they should be in front.
Yep, Borussia Dortmund have been the dominant side, had a couple of really gilt-edged opportunities, didn't take them. Real Madrid have offered very, very little in this first half. Dortmund deserve to be in front, they're not in front, and you just know at some stage Real Madrid will get their act together.
And Paul Clement, what surprised you most about that first half?
Yeah, how poorly Real Madrid played for the level of the player they've got, for their experience, how they've done this season. Pleasantly surprised by Dortmund, definitely the better side, more dangerous, better chances. I can't see Real Madrid playing as poorly as that in the second half, I have to say.
No, it'll be interesting to hear from you what Carlo Ancelotti might be doing at half-time. But at the break here at Wembley Stadium in the 2024 UEFA Champions League final, the score is Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0. There are dozens of, as the second half gets underway with the score Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0, there are dozens of red flares that have been lit in amongst the Borussia Dortmund supporters. And as they always say, you know, these things are actually dangerous, the temperatures that they burn at. And that's why Borussia Dortmund will be massively fined by UEFA. If they actually go on and win this, they might have to give UEFA all of their prize money back. But it is 0-0, second half is underway with Real Madrid attacking in this second period towards the Borussia Dortmund fans, so away from their own supporters who are sitting there very calmly, all in white. and it is Rodrigo breaking forward, but it bounces back to Schlotterbeck, who took a heavy touch there. Vinicius has won it back from him. No changes at half-time, by the way. The teams as they were in the first period. Kroos rolling it to the left-hand side to Mendy, and the left-back just pulls it back and gives it back to him on the halfway line. So Dortmund with Kobel in goal, Ryerson, Hummels, Schlotterbeck and Maatsen, Chan, Sabitzer and Brandt, Sancho, Adeyemi and Füllkrug, who's come closest to scoring with the shot that hit the post in the first half. And Real Madrid still in possession. Valverde playing it into the box, but Schlotterbeck's there to volley it away. First time touch from Brandt forward towards big Füllkrug. Then back to Maatsen, now Adeyemi running away from Valverde, got the pass to Brandt. Brandt turns it infield to Sabitzer. Real Madrid are back in numbers, and Sabitzer's pass, Sancho's going to do well to reach that, which he does actually, catches up with it near the corner flag on the far side. Huge plume of smoke drifting into the bowl of the stadium as Dortmund attack down the right hand side with Ryerson, who wins a corner, first corner of the second half to Dortmund, Chris Sutton.
Yeah, Bellingham does well to stop the cross, but they've started the second half as they finished the first half in the ascendancy. Good move up the pitch, and can they make something from one of these set pieces? They haven't done so far.
BBC World Service listeners are back with us on 5 Live again, and we're watching Dortmund with their first corner of the second period. That is going to be taken from over there on the right flank, just about concealed through the haze as the ball comes over the near post, headed away for Madrid. A touch from Vinicius, and he was able to run the ball away to the halfway line. There are defenders back. Ryerson is there. Vinicius still attacking the penalty area, then cuts back, then goes for it again. He's also got Sancho back in there as well, and then Hummels in with a challenge, and down goes Vinicius and wins a free kick in a dangerous area near the left corner of the box.
Yep, Hummels doesn't protest too much. Vinicius Junior does really well, in fact. Has to delay himself, and he holds the ball up, draws the foul, and this is shooting range, John.
Most certainly is.
Do you shoot? Do you cross?
Well, Rodrigo is in fact Toni Kroos of course is over it. Toni Kroos on his last club appearance of his glittering career with this free kick over towards the left hand side. I know Gareth Bale's here tonight, that he in his prime would have fancied a free kick from this sort of area, but Kroos just steps away. Rodrigo is there as well. Dortmund have got to stand up strong here. Kobel, the goalkeeper's yet to have to make a save in this final. Still, this smoke is hanging heavy in the air from the half-time flares. Free kick, Kroos drives it in, and Kobel diving to his right does make a save and is able to push it away. I think he got both hands to it to push it round the post for a Madrid corner.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Toni Kroos. Three-man wall from Dortmund. Oh, I think it's just creeping in. Kobel gets it round the post.
He couldn't resist but to go for it. Corner then, the resulting corner in. Headed up and over the top by the arriving Carvajal at the near post, the right back. One of the great Madrid servants, but couldn't get it on target.
Yeah, what a leap from Carvajal. Not the biggest. Soft defending from Dortmund. Carvajal just cannot direct the header. It's a right-footed in-swinger. Can't direct it on target over the bar.
So Paul Clement, that's more like it from your former club.
Yeah, absolutely. Doubled their chances there. One from the Toni Kroos free kick, very accurate, good save from the goalkeeper, and then the resulting corner, an attempt on goal from Carvajal just over the bar. So positive start to the half.
Paul Clement and Chris Sutton with us. Paul, long-time assistant all over Europe to Carlo Ancelotti. Chris Sutton, Champions League goal scorer all over Europe. 0-0.
Managed in League 2 as well, John.
Yeah, there is that as well, but I don't think we've got time during the course of the Champions League final for the whole CV, as Maatsen, left-footed, plays it out to the right-hand side. Ryerson back in field towards Jadon Sancho. I think of the two, for many it was billed as Sancho and Bellingham, wasn't it? The two English internationals in the starting lineup. Sancho's had the better of it so far. Ball played forward to the edge of the area. Füllkrug gets it under control. Then the shot from Maatsen on his right foot, but the defender came across. Then Camavinga just got a touch on that to deflect it up and over for a corner to Dortmund.
Got to say, good centre forward play. Watching Füllkrug in the warm-up. Dortmund coaches in behind him, those balls clipped in and held the ball up well and laid it back. Well, deflected shot. Another Dortmund corner.
Yet another, number 7 of the final. Still 0-0 though. And Brandt with this delivery from the left-hand side. Although the referee's just blown his whistle. Referee Vinčić, he's ready now and actually plays it short to Madsen, then back to Brandt, right-footed ball into the near post, easily headed away, didn't beat the first man, Camavinga. Madsen challenging for it with Vinicius, little flick from him back to Camavinga. The misplaced pass from Carvajal, and Dortmund are back in possession. And even though Madrid have now had a couple of attempts on goal and have forced that save from Kobel, I must say Dortmund look undimmed. You know, we wondered whether the half-time break had come at the wrong time for them, but Schlotterbeck now hitting a Toni Kroos style pass, left-footed this one though from the central defender. Ryerson's cross deflected behind off Mendy, another corner to Dortmund.
Yeah, good ball, wasn't it, from Schlotterbeck, slotting a 40-yard ball, left-footed out to the right-hand side. And Dortmund have had a fair bit of joy the first half and the second half. Down the right.
And now a corner from that side. Brandt trots across there to take it. Stands with one foot in front of the other. There's a lot of wrestling going on in the box. The corner is delivered and headed, glanced right across the box. And then Schlotterbeck, who has been challenged by Toni Kroos for some reason, with that slight contact, threw himself to the ground and deflected it behind for a goal kick.
He's on a yellow card, isn't he, Schlotterbeck? And that was really poor from him. Wasn't a lot of contact and went over.
Darkness beginning to close in on Wembley Stadium. It's almost like a Hammer horror scene here inside Wembley, with that smoke in the air and the lights are on, and I'm almost expecting to hear the howl of the werewolf. Throwing for Dortmund on the right-hand side. Ryerson to take this back towards the halfway line. It's controlled by Hummels, who started the Champions League final here back in 2013, as did Royce, who's on the bench. We might see him for his farewell Dortmund appearance later. But Edin Terzic's Borussia Dortmund, he's a Dortmund fan. He was born not too far away, about 20 miles away from the city of Dortmund. Used to go and watch them in the South Stand when he was growing up. He was one of the Klopp staff as a scout and a coach. Madsen, left-footed ball to the edge of the area, headed away by Rudiger, comes out to Adeyemi. Excellent work though by Valverde to get in there and win the ball back from Adeyemi. And now Camavinga running it shoulder to shoulder with Brandt, going down and not winning the free kick, and that's not impressed Camavinga, as the referee says play on.
Yeah, I think quite right from the referee. Brandt got back, a little bit of contact with Camavinga, but Camavinga going down too easily. It's been a theme this evening.
It has. Dortmund, yellow shirts with a black trim, black shorts and yellow socks, backed by this brilliant support. Tens of thousands of Dortmund fans have come to London, those who weren't lucky enough to be among the almost 30,000 who are here inside Wembley Stadium. And that support, I mean, if you're going to award the European Cup for the loudest support, Borussia Dortmund have won this absolutely hands down. The score on the boards though is still 0-0, and Dortmund with the ball inside their own half with Hummels. Rolls the ball across to Schlotterbeck. Over the halfway line he goes, left-footed pass, high from him, but that's way over the top of Ryerson, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Real Madrid. Paul Clement, do you think Carlo Ancelotti will be, well, how worried will he be? Let's put it that way.
No, certainly he won't be happy with the way the teams play, and I can just see him barking instructions at Vinicius. It looks like they've done a slight tactical change, certainly defensively, where he's asking Vinicius now to defend that left side and getting Bellingham higher up defensively, and then he'll be there more offensively now.
Carlo Ancelotti, a record 203rd Champions League match as a coach. Throw-in taken by Real Madrid, and there's a foul by Sancho, so free kick to Real, halfway inside their own half. The travelling Madridistas are trying to do their bit, and in fairness we are much closer to the Borussia Dortmund fans, right at the halfway line. But now that means we've got a great atmosphere echoing all around the stadium. Ball out to Vinicius on the left-hand side. Vinicius against Ryerson, just checks back. Then a right-footed ball high across the pitch to the right-hand side. Rodrigo gets that under control. Bellingham's in the middle, and it comes back to Carvajal. Little ball infield from him. Carvajal goes down off the ball. Camavinga in possession. Bellingham then goes down. He wants a free kick near the edge of the area. Referee's not interested. Carvajal's still rolling around on the pitch, and the referee actually stops play with Real Madrid in possession to come across to see how Carvajal is, and as he does so, Carvajal gets back to his feet.
Well, Carvajal does take one in the face. Adeyemi runs into him. I think it's one of those. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Carvajal unhappy about the challenge. A drop ball. I think Real Madrid, you think of Benzema and that focal point, that central figure. I know he's left now, but that may be part of Borussia Dortmund's game plan, saying, you can have the ball in wide areas and cross it in and we'll deal with it.
Valverde now down the right-hand side to Rodrigo. Rodrigo up against Maatsen, the Chelsea lone player. Valverde infield to Camavinga, a flick from him. Then Kroos shapes the pass to the left-hand side of Vinicius. Right-footed cross from him, just headed away. Then comes out for the shot from Carvajal, but it was, I think, blocked by Maatsen. And then goalkeeper Kobel was able to drop on it to make the save.
Bellingham got up really well. As the ball goes through to Carvajal, it bounces high up and he gets over it brilliantly, gets his right hip up nice and high, chokes the ball down into the surface, takes a deflection but comfortable for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think that point you just made there, Chris, about not having a focal point, they do have a target man on the bench who's very good in those crossing situations, and he would have loved to have been in the box for that situation, and that's Joselu. And we might see him at some point in this game.
Yes, the 34-year-old Joselu, who scored those dramatic 2 goals right at the end as a substitute in the second leg of the semi-final. The former Stoke and Newcastle centre forward, who's had such a good season. He scored 18 goals for Real Madrid on loan from Espanyol. I mean, what a season that is. And as Paul Clement says, he might have a role to play yet in this final. Long and forward for Dortmund from Schlotterbeck over the top of Adeyemi, who got a touch but then couldn't get the ball under control, and it's out of play.
On the face of it, it's a really weird loan move, isn't it? To go from Espanyol to Madrid.
I don't think he was complaining about it.
But he did well for Espanyol last season with the 17 goals that he scored there. But we could have a scenario, couldn't we, where we've got Fulkrug at one end and Joselu at the other. What a throwback that would be, as Chan comes in with the challenge and it's out of play for a throw near the halfway line. So just over half an hour to go, and it's still Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 0. Here's Bellingham, just evades the challenge that comes in from Hummels, keeps his feet, plays the ball back. Real Madrid over there on the left-hand side.
He's playing as a false 9 now, isn't he, Bellingham? Rodrigo out to this right-hand side, Vinicius, both hugging the touchline. So a slightly different setup for Real Madrid.
Kroos almost was one of 3 central defenders. He's so deep here. Toni Kroos gives it to his right to Rudiger, then Carvajal helps it on to Rodrigo, and then Valverde with a pass that Rodrigo couldn't reach. Looked like a nicely shaped pass from Valverde, but out of play for a throw into Dortmund. More encouragement for the Germans, the team that finished 5th in the Bundesliga, and again, don't forget how close they came. Really, they should have won the league last season under Terzic. Were pipped by Bayern Munich on the final day. What a potential story that is if they're able to come back this season and win the Champions League for only the second time. Chan still deep inside his own half to Schlotterbeck, left-footed pass from him out to Ryerson. Ryerson with a touch into the half, but Bellingham is back there over on that far side, the left-hand side. Ryerson though takes him on and does beat Bellingham down the line, then Bellingham in with the challenge, but there's the next line of defence from Mendy. Excellent play forward, play from the full-back Ryerson to win a throw-in level with the edge of the Real Madrid box. Back to Chan, then Ryerson again, his pass back into the centre circle, still 0-0, and we have now moved into the last half hour of this 2024 Champions League final. Maatsen approaching the left corner of the box. Maatsen turns, gives it back behind him to Brandt, and then Emre Can 30 yards out, maybe more than that, back to Hummels nearer the halfway line, to the left hand side to Brandt. Real Madrid are now parked behind the ball as Dortmund have the possession, and now the cross from the left from Maatsen hits Rudiger, who falls over, managed to get enough on it, comes out to Adeyemi just outside the area. This is very good from Borussia Dortmund. They're really testing Real Madrid here. Chance ball into Füllkrug on the edge of the area, but Rudiger goes in, goes to ground, gets the ball and clears it back towards the halfway line, and still 0-0 it is, but they are giving Dortmund as good as they're getting and more. Hummels, long pass out to the left hand side where Maatsen is he was beaten by Carvajal, but then Carvajal gave it back to Maatsen, and then Maatsen miscontrols it out for a goal kick. I think we'll draw veil over that little period of play. Still 0-0.
Carvajal took a chance there, got away with it.
Oh, that's a poor ball out from the back, and Rudiger's able to clear. Carvajal collided with Adeyemi. Real Madrid break forward. Camavinga. Now Vinicius just wasn't able to take the ball in his stride. Here's Bellingham over there, tries to flick it back, was challenged and caught by Ryerson. He's on his knees again, Bellingham wanting the free kick. He's not got it.
No, got to say Borussia Dortmund have paid special attention to Jude Bellingham. He's not had his greatest night so far, but he's one you wouldn't write off.
Paul.
It's an interesting part of the game here now. See Madrid making the tactical change, but then almost giving up a little bit control as well. In the last 5 minutes, sinking back in deep, giving the control to Dortmund. It's really now who's going to grab this game.
And now Brandt in the centre circle, helps the ball on to Adeyemi, left-footed ball across the box, diving header is saved by Courtois. Füllkrug was on the end of that, leaning forward, down onto his knees, heading the ball goalwards, but it was too close to Courtois, who was able to parry it away.
I tell you what, great ball this is. Füllkrug tries to catch Courtois out at his near post. I think he should go back across Courtois. There's a big opportunity. Always go back across goal in those situations. Goalkeeper can't really set himself to dive back. Courtois read it really well, in fact, and made a comfortable save.
So he's had that chance, Füllkrug. He hit the post in the first half with that stretching shot, but it remains 0-0. Real Madrid with Rudiger. Real Madrid hoping tonight to achieve La Quinceava, the 15th, as Valverde rolls it to the left-hand side to Mendy. Vinicius is there as well. Now it's Borussia Dortmund with their men behind the ball, all apart from big Füllkrug, the number 14, up near the halfway line. Vinicius again, running at Ryerson. Across as well comes Sancho, but he beats him down the line, takes it to the byline, and then the attempted cutback is blocked by Ryerson, who's able to slide it behind for a corner.
And you know what, if something looks like it's going to happen for Madrid, it looks like it's going to be Vinicius Junior. Just seeing this Füllkrug opportunity again, I think it's a huge opportunity. I think he should score. The angle wasn't against him.
But back at the other end, Real Madrid with the corner in front of the whistling Dortmund fans, and it comes to the near post. That's headed up and away by Schlotterbeck. There are a whole number of players after that, still not out of the Dortmund area, but then it's headed away. Nacho loses out in the challenge, but then Brandt overhits the ball for Adeyemi to chase, and out it goes for a throw-in to Real Madrid, 10 yards inside their own half. This is absolutely there. You know, talk about Real Madrid being the overwhelming favourites, Dortmund the massive underdogs. This is 50-50, Chris.
Well, you say it's 50-50 based on what we've seen from both teams. Dortmund should be in front and in front comfortably. The chances that they have had, but you just think Madrid, they're going to get one opportunity.
This might be it. Rodrigo goes around the outside of Madsen into the area, but Schlotterbeck was there to just bring his legs together as Rodrigo tried to slip it across the box, and it's another corner to Real Madrid. 25 minutes to go. 25 minutes. Toni Kroos asks the Borussia Dortmund fans behind the goal to throw the ball back, which they obligingly do, and Kroos is ready to take this from the right, just down in front of us. Just runs his fingers through his fair hair, and then with the delivery to the edge of the 6-yard box, it's headed back to him by Hummels. Kroos controls and crosses, then the glancing header in the middle from Vinicius, in amongst the whole number of players. Couldn't get it on target, headed it wide of the far post.
Yeah, got it pretty well, Vinicius Junior. Standing jump though, couldn't direct the header on target. Are you expecting changes now, Paul?
Well, Madrid, I think some of their best chances now are coming from crosses, and if you can cross the ball into the box, you need to get Joselu on.
Well, almost midway through the second half, Adeyemi sets off on a run now down the left-hand side and drops a shoulder but doesn't beat Rudiger, keeps his eye on the ball and is just able to dispossess him as he ran at great pace towards the German international. And now Vinicius, ball with the outside of his boot for Bellingham to chase, but Schlotterbeck went all the way over there with Jude Bellingham and was able to get a foot to the ball to put it out of play via a deflection for a throw-in for Dortmund, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Again, up goes the volume from the Borussia Dortmund supporters. I'm not sure any of them will have a voice in the morning after this. Ryerson ready to take this throw-in. The referee just stopped play there. I'm not sure what was happening there, whether it was a communication issue. Throw-in is taken. Ryerson now up towards the halfway line, where Fulkrug loses out and crashes to the earth. Toni Kroos passes it to the left-hand side to Mendy. Vinicius is out there as well. Vinicius then back towards the halfway line. They've got a great repertoire, the Borussia Dortmund fans. They're going through the whole songbook. They've got one that actually goes to the old Rod Stewart classic, I Am Sailing.
Really?
Yeah, they have. Here's Kroos forward towards Valverde, now Bellingham. You'd think it was Borussia Dortmund who are winning 4-0 here, given the volume inside the stadium. Kroos again to Camavinga, then back to Rudiger forward to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham turns and as Chan comes in with the challenge, has to give it back to Rudiger, who goes for the long pass towards Rodrigo on the edge of the area. Ryerson's in with the challenge. Rodrigo square, Bellingham with a chance, back into the box from him, but cleared away by the recovering Sabitzer. It did have a feel there that it might have opened up for Real Madrid.
Just wonder if Bellingham could he have got a shot off. Went for the pass on the inside, the disguised pass, but 18 yards out. He should have had a go at goal himself.
Still 0-0, Real Madrid, the new champions again of Spain. As the ball is played in and Bellingham's after it, and the goalkeeper came, I'm not sure he got anything on that, and the ball bounced wide, and Bellingham leans against the post. He must have thought that was going to end up in the net after it was played in by Vinicius, Chris.
Yep, well, Vinicius coming inside on his right foot from the left-hand side, stands a ball up. Bellingham leaps and attacks it. It actually comes off Kobel. Bellingham doesn't get a touch on the ball. Comes off the Dortmund goalkeeper's left elbow and goes behind, but Dortmund get the goal kick.
Probably any touch from Bellingham there, it was in the net.
Yeah, it's a good leap.
20 minutes to go, still 0-0, 5 live in the World Service from the BBC, and here's Adeyemi now up against Carvajal. Adeyemi is forced to check back. Excellent defending by the experienced Carvajal at the age of 32. Sancho on the left-hand side, Brandt then infield, 25 yards out. Chan thought about the shot, but Bellingham was quickly in and forced him to rethink. Now Ryerson again on the right-hand side, back towards Chan. chance, but Schlotterbeck available and uses him. And the tall left-sided central defender plays one of those left-footed passes out to the right-hand side where Ryerson's able to get it down. Back to Chan again after the good spell that Real Madrid have just had. Now it's Dortmund who have got themselves parked inside the Real Madrid half. And it comes back to the centre circle. And Dortmund will start again. And Brandt actually goes all the way back to Hummels. And actually almost back towards the edge of their own penalty area, and Schlotterbeck finds Valverde in front of him, so it does give it back to goalkeeper Kobel, who was very nearly caught out there by that dangerous ball in from Vinicius a few moments ago. And Kobel, with a stationary ball in front of him, hits it long over the halfway line where Fulkrug is shoved over by Nacho, and that's a free kick to Dortmund just to the right of the centre circle. Still no sign of substitutions, imminent. Oh, hang on, there is one.
Yeah, Royce stripped.
Here he comes. Last appearance.
Yep.
35 yesterday.
Is it written in the stars?
Is it, I wonder? His 429th appearance for Borussia Dortmund. 170 goals, so he's second on the all-time list for Dortmund. He's been such a great servant for them. It's where he started his career. He was born in Dortmund, and here he comes. Here he comes now, yet another potential great storyline. And he is going to replace Adeyemi, who he's not had the impact that he did against Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-final. So listen to this cheer for his final appearance for Borussia Dortmund from Marco Reus. Paul.
Oh, the game now is so finely balanced, and you're moving into that territory where, you know, a mistake can cost you the trophy. So Dortmund, the first team to make the move. The coach has decided. Royce is on.
And it looks as though Sancho's come across to the left-hand side as Brandt tries to play a ball through the middle. Intercepted by Real Madrid, and now Vinicius is off on another run down the left-hand side, touches it past Hummels. Ryerson's there to come in with a challenge. Vinicius beats him as well, and then Hummels is there with the third defensive challenge to put it behind for a corner. He is clearly the danger man.
Yep, he is drifting out on that left-hand side again. Oh, unbelievable skill to nutmeg Ryerson. And then gets help from a fellow defender to pop it behind for a corner.
Corner for Madrid. Kroos to take this, whistles from the stands. Here it is from Kroos. Rudiger was up, but it was headed away. Just couldn't get a touch on it. And then a shot from Valverde from distance takes a deflection off I think Hummels, certainly someone in yellow and black, and it bounces behind. Another corner, 0-0. But Madrid are cranking up the pressure on the Germans. Kroos to take this from the left-hand side, again in towards the near post, glances in, it's Carvajal! What a story that is! One of the great Real Madrid servants, the right back with a glancing header into the Dortmund net. Carvajal, who can equal the record tonight, playing in 6 victorious European Copa Champions League finals. It's Carvajal who makes the breakthrough. Less than 20 minutes to go, and it's Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 1.
And Dortmund haven't taken their chances, and Madrid, they've not had many. Carvajal gets up superbly. He's not the biggest, but his leap is tremendous. He's just beyond the near post, and it's a right-footed in-swinger from Toni Kroos, and he just uses the pace of the ball, leaps, deflects the ball into the far corner. No chance for the goalkeeper, who's made a movement towards the near post. It's a terrific header, a towering header from the little right back, and Madrid take the lead. They don't deserve it.
And I'm just watching as well, Paul Clement, your old compadre, watching Carlo Ancelotti, who just turns away. He turns away as though nothing's happened.
Super calm as ever. He'll be thinking there's still plenty of time to play in this game and what he can do next to help the team. Surprise goal scorer from the set play There was a warning for Dortmund earlier in the half where Carvajal, almost a replica of that one, put it over the bar, but that one back of the net, and they lead with 15 to go.
All those Dortmund chances, Courtois saves, Füllkrug hitting the post in the first half, not able to take their chances, and Real Madrid take the lead with a corner from the 34-year-old Toni Kroos, headed in by the 32-year-old Dani Carvajal. And now already time is running out for Borussia Dortmund, and Real Madrid are closing in on the 15th.
How many times does this happen though with Real Madrid? They never stop believing. They haven't been at the best this evening, but they find a way.
Well, the big flag that they unfurled, those Real Madrid fans who are now jubilant to our left, that big flag before the game, Paul Clement, you'll know the phrase very well, hasta el final. It's one of the mottos of Real Madrid, and it means right to the end.
Yeah, still time to go, but you have to say Dortmund have been the better side so far over the 75 minutes, but they trail. Let's see if the game opens up now.
As Valverde just slipped there, and Chan was in with a challenge, but the ball bounced away. Could have been a collision between the two of them. Real Madrid now, though, now they know they've got the sniff of Borussia Dortmund blood in their nostrils. They know as they go for it here with Vinicius, get a second goal now, and that is probably it. Ball played back to Mendy. And then infield, Bellingham turns nicely, just knocks it back to Valverde, who takes it on, thought about a shot from 30 yards, actually plays it out to Rodrigo on the right-hand side, and the little Brazilian knocks it back to the goal scorer. 6 goals this season for Carvajal, the best season he's ever had, scoring goals, and of course, still an absolutely brilliant right back to boot. Camavinga now to Vinicius. Ball in, Camavinga, I think we'll get that. Pulls it back. Here's Bellingham. Bellingham shoots wide. Goal gaping. Defenders arriving, but couldn't find the bottom corner.
Well, like the corner has been given. I think it's brilliant defending. Camavinga, what a spot! He's on the byline, but he's trying to cross the ball on the byline at speed. But then Bellingham takes a brilliant first touch. And he thinks he's just going to stroll onto it with his second touch and find the corner. And it's deflected wide. Schlotterbeck. How big could that moment be? Because that would have been game over.
It would. Still 1-0. But Kroos with a corner. He's already created one goal from a corner. Toni Kroos points, directions. Now right-footed to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Hummels, comes out to Brandt, but Brandt's attempted ball downfield is cut out by Rodrigo, who did really well there. Here's Bellingham on the edge of the area, Bellingham with the turn, but it breaks for Dortmund, and Brandt now will bring it forward. A lovely little change of feet from him, but then Mendy goes to ground, and excellent challenge to win the ball back. Camavinga now, I think it might well open up for Real Madrid. Camavinga to the edge of the area, Hummels goes to ground and fouls Camavinga, and it's a free kick just outside the box, and a yellow card for the veteran defender.
Do you know what? Wonderful first time ball from Toni Kroos initially to release Camavinga, who drives forward, drives the space, and little shift, 24-25 yards out on his left foot, draws Mats Hummels in, and this is within range for Toni Kroos.
Real Madrid are in charge, and Toni Kroos, having already created one goal, has an opportunity here. He's already had a free kick that was saved. This is from a much better position, and with every second that ticks by, and we're in the 79th minute, Real Madrid are inching closer to yet another Champions League final victory. They've won their last 8 in this competition where they've reached the final. Not since they were beaten by Aberdeen in Gothenburg in 1983 have Real Madrid lost the European final. And now Toni Kroos is pulling up his socks. He loves the look of this. He moves back and to the left. Real Madrid have put up a wall, a 3-man wall in front of the Dortmund wall. Kroos with the free kick, and Kobel diving to his right is able to push it away two-handed out to the far side for a throw.
Gets it up and over the wall. Kobel already on his way, anticipates it very, very well. Doesn't go right into the corner. It's a comfortable two-handed save from Kobel.
It's been a brilliant sporting day. I hope you've enjoyed it all with us. From the derby to the rugby union to Roland Garros. Here we are at Wembley, the Champions League final. And we've got the cricket, the first match of the T20 World Cup coming up in the early hours. You'll be able to listen to it on Sports Extra all through the night. The unlikely opening match of United States against Canada from Dallas. Now, Dortmund have made a double change. Seb Haller has come on. Now I'm not sure about his fitness. He was a big doubt for this. He's been injured for much of the season. The big number 9, the former West Ham man, the Ivory Coast striker, but he's on for the final moment. And Real Madrid attacking with Bellingham just outside the box. Camavinga left-footed, tipped over by Kobel. Diving with his wrong hand, as they say, the goalkeepers. Left-handed, tipped it over. That was on target for 2-0. Corner.
Yeah, they've got control of this game now. I tell you what an effort from Camavinga. Must be 25 yards out. Starts the ball with his left foot a yard or two outside the right-hand post of Kobel, and it drifts in as heading into the top corner. That's some save from Kobel.
The crowd figure being announced.
86,212.
There you are, 86,212. And for Borussia Dortmund, Marlon is on as well, the joint top scorer. Here's the corner for Madrid. Excellent save by Kobel. Near post glance. Carvajal was in there as well. I think Nacho was too, but the goalkeeper, one of them got the touch on it to deflect it goalwards, and that's a very good save by Kobel. And it was Nacho's header that was saved, clawed away by Kobel.
He does well, Nacho. The ball's actually behind him, directs the header. It's drifting in again, and Kobel has made a couple of really smart, important saves to keep Dortmund in this. But Madrid have control now.
The goals changed everything. That 74th minute goal, and now, as Chris Sutton says, Kobel's made a number of saves actually to keep it at 1-0. So Dortmund have made those two changes. Haller and Marlon have come on, they've given it away, Dortmund. Bellingham to his left, Vinicius in, Vinicius to win it, 2-0! Hands on heads for Borussia Dortmund. They gave the ball away on the edge of their own penalty area, and Madrid were ruthless. Vinicius scores what is almost certainly the clinching goal that will bring a 15th European Cup or Champions League title to Real Madrid. Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 2.
Yeah, you said it, John. Real Madrid were ruthless when it mattered, and they did. Well, they have stolen control of this game, but the finish is devastating from Vinicius Junior. Mistake at the back for Dortmund. Bellingham out left to Vinicius Junior. There's a poor pass from Madsen. Shifts the ball with his right foot onto his left foot and just lifts it past Kobel in the Dortmund goal into the far corner. Devastating finish. I say he lifts it, he actually chokes the ball into the floor. He may be slightly fortunate. I don't think he could have meant that. He won't care, Madrid won't care. Carlo Ancelotti won't give a damn. They look home and host now.
2-0, Real Madrid absolutely in the driving seat, Paul Clement.
Yeah, since the first goal from the set play, they've dominated the play. They've looked to continue to attack and score that second goal. It's come now. Going to be really difficult for Dortmund now to get back in this game.
Here's Marlon though. Marlon, the Dutchman, takes the ball round the outside but gets a heavy touch on it, and it is given as a goal kick. I think Dortmund wanted a corner, but I'm not sure they were even convinced themselves, and it's a goal kick to Real Madrid. And I think with that second goal, Carlo Ancelotti is going to make his first changes. There's a double change coming for Real Madrid, and Jude Bellingham is actually making way. So he had his chance, Bellingham, with the shot that was deflected wide. That could have made it 2-0. And Bellingham, his first Champions League final at the age of 20 years old, the young man who has been named this week as the La Liga Player of the Season, having been Dortmund's Player of the Season last year, leaves the field. hands held high, applauding the Real Madrid fans, and off he goes to take his place on the bench. And Toni Kroos there is urging the Madrid fans to try and match the Dortmund fans at the other end. So Joselu is on now, and Toni Kroos says goodbye now at Wembley Stadium, his final appearance of his club career, and he walks into the arms of Carlo Ancelotti. He created the opening goal with his corner that was headed in by Carvajal, and there he goes. That's the end of a great club career.
Yeah, embrace with Carlo Ancelotti. Saw him say in the week that Real Madrid are saying well to a footballing great, huge quality and a fantastic character with little ego.
As Dortmund come through the middle, Füllkrug tries to head it on to Haller, but Real Madrid deal with that, and now Ryerson runs it forward, but it feels rather forlorn now for Borussia Dortmund. 2-0 down, those goals scored within 9 minutes of one another. Carvajal's header in the 74th minute, Vinicius' left foot finish in the 83rd, and Sabitzer carrying it to the halfway line. He's fouled by Valverde, and it's a free kick that he's looking to take quickly, Sabitzer, which he does to Ryerson on the far side. But actually the referee says Dortmund are going to make this next change, the third substitution first of all, and over on the far side they make that change, and that's the end of Jadon Sancho's evening.
Has been replaced by number 43, Jamie Bino Gittins.
And it's Englishman for Englishman, with Bino Gittins coming on and already trying a shot on the edge of the penalty area that's blocked. Then Marlon with the ball in, and it's headed in! And Dortmund have got to go back, and the offside flag is up, and the goal will not stand. VAR will have a look at it. Füllkrug's furious. They thought there they were back in it. Füllkrug ran away celebrating, and now he's standing wagging his finger. Clearly we'll have a look at this to see if it is a goal back.
The flag went up immediately. Let's have a look. I think
offside.
he is just offside. He's 6 yards out. It's a bullet header, but correct decision. He just drifted half a yard offside. He's 6 yards out. Should really be looking along the line there. It's a hell of a finish. Won't count.
Goal ruled out. It remains 2-0 to Real Madrid. And Paul Clement should get a word from you as well on Toni Kroos, who's left the field, who clearly you will know well.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have worked with him. We've just seen a Real Madrid legend and a football legend retire from club football. Obviously he's going to play in the summer for the German team in the Euros, but what an outstanding career he's had for this club.
And now there's a little bit of nonsense between Marlon and Carvajal, but Carvajal's having nothing to do with that. Marlon runs towards him, but Carvajal knows they've got the upper hand, and he's also got the moral high ground. And it is Haller who just knocks this off to the left-hand side to Royce. It's straight into the path of Carvajal, and Carvajal's going to play it out of play off Marlon for a throw-in to Real Madrid. So 2-0 Carlo Ancelotti's side lead, and here he is on course for his 5th Champions League win as a coach, and add that to the 2 that he won as well as a player with Milan, as he'll make another change, and it's Militao who's going to come on. The number 3, the Brazilian international, Eder Militao, not onto the field just yet, as Real Madrid bring it forward with Modric, who is now under the field, having come on to replace Toni Kroos. Excellent management again, to bring Luka Modric onto the field. Paul, this will be his 6th appearance in a winning Champions League final, to equal the record, along with Carvajal, equal the record of one of the all-time greats, Paco Gento, from the early days of the Real Madrid European Cup winners.
Well, now not a bad one to bring on to see out the game. Tony goes off, Luka Modric on.
Yeah, and the next change, Militao is going to come on to replace Rodrigo. But the game's up, Chris Sutton, is it not?
Yep. certainly is. Madrid, once the first goal went in, they
Substitution for Real Madrid.
totally dominated,
Rodrigo.
grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. You just can't give them an inch, can you? Dortmund had their opportunities, didn't take them, and Madrid absolutely ruthless, find a way when even not at the best.
Yeah, the second goal was the killer blow, really. The mistake at the back from Maatsen, wasn't it, who gave it away on the left side of the Dortmund defence, and Real Madrid were all over them, and the finish from Vinicius. Camavinga is just eased over by Füllkrug. That's a free kick to Real Madrid halfway inside their own half. So they're going to go through this whole Champions League season unbeaten. They've never done that before. They've never won the European Cup Champions League at Wembley before. So a couple of firsts for them. But while there may be a couple of firsts, this is very familiar ground for those Real Madrid supporters. This special relationship that they have with this competition. As we say, it's almost impossible to explain what it is that makes them the team that they are. As Haller now runs onto the flick on from Füllkrug, arriving Ryerson has to slam on the brakes, gives it back to Sabitzer. Sabitzer's right-footed ball across the box, but Carval's there to calmly head it back to Courtois, who's actually able to juggle the ball on his thigh and then knock it up to himself and then eventually fall on it. He wanted a piece of the action, Chris.
He did. It's slightly ungainly from Courtois.
Important saves in the first half, though.
Yeah. I mean, the story of the game is simply Dortmund. The opportunities they created, big opportunities, they missed them. Real Madrid have made them pay for the chances missed.
So we are into the 5 minutes that have been added on at the end of this Champions League final, which is going very much the way of Real Madrid. 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. As Bino Gittins, the England under-21 international, he has a little dart forward, but Real Madrid just swallow that up on the edge of their own penalty area. Comes back to Hummels, you have to feel for him. The Champions League is missing from his resume. A beaten finalist like Royce back in 2013 here at Wembley. And he's actually taking the ball up towards the edge of the penalty area, but Real Madrid are able to clear that away, and now a flick towards Modric. And Modric over the halfway line, fair hair flowing as he gives the ball to the left-hand side to Vinicius. And now Vinicius into the penalty area, scoops it across looking for Modric, but that was intercepted by Royce. And Borussia Dortmund with Schlotterbeck, a long pass from Marlon to run onto, the shaven-headed Dutchman down into the Real Madrid right-back area. And in comes the touch on the ball from Militao to knock it away.
Yeah, he's not a bad sub to bring on. You want to see a game through. Making a third centre-half for Madrid. Kept up and made the challenge.
And Vinicius is going to be substituted, having scored the clinching goal, and he's going to be cheered to the rafters. His 24th goal of the season. The man who, remember, scored the only goal, the winning goal against Liverpool in the final in the Stade de France 2 years ago, and off he goes with another Champions League victory in the final under his belt as Dortmund vainly play the ball in towards the edge of the area. That's headed away by Mendy. Another great servant, Lucas Vazquez, has come on for Real Madrid as Bino Gittins is just caught there, fouled by Mendy, and it's a free kick to Real Madrid, to Borussia Dortmund out towards the right-hand side. Royce comes across to take it. But now really, Borussia Dortmund have got to do a Real Madrid on Real Madrid if they're going to turn this around. Free kick, but we are already in the fourth, now the 5th minute, the final minute of added time. They need 2 goals in a minute. Royce to take this free kick has to go in for Dortmund. And Royce with the free kick in towards the back post. It is brilliantly defended. Militao towering in there above Füllkrug to head it almost on the goal line, wide of the post and behind for a corner.
That's what he was brought on for. That's a towering defensive clearance, heads it behind. Still work to do, but not much.
Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti bringing Militao on as another defender with Haller and Füllkrug up front now for Dortmund. Here's the corner, latest corner for Dortmund in. Courtois comes and gets a massive punch on that. That was a Tyson Fury style uppercut. Madsen's ball into the near post. Courtois comes and makes the catch, and he's got the ball safely, and I think there are only a few seconds left. And also Paul Clement, I mentioned it there, Carlo Ancelotti bringing on Lucas Vazquez as well, another one of the great servants, for him to be a part of this, the final moments.
Yeah, he was standing on the side for a while. It looked like time was going to run out for him.
Well, time has run out now for Borussia Dortmund. The Real Madrid players drop to their knees. It doesn't matter how many times you win this great trophy. It means as much every time to this club, to Real Madrid, the great club of this competition. They've been under the pump here at Wembley tonight against Borussia Dortmund, but the Germans couldn't take their chances, and now here on the pitch at Wembley Stadium, under the arch, Real Madrid can celebrate the 15th Champions League or European Cup title. They're all together in a huddle, dancing around, and Carlo Ancelotti is as calm as can be on the sidelines, having won it for the 5th time as a coach. Real Madrid, yet again, are the champions. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, they are the mentality monsters, aren't they? They weren't in the game in the first half. Dortmund had opportunities, they didn't take them. They hung on in there in the second half, and Carvajal climbed and headed one into the corner, and from that moment on, Madrid had control of the game. Vinicius with the second goal, they saw the game out comfortably. It's about finding a way. There's so much belief and confidence within this squad. They've done it before, and they keep doing it. They know how to get over the line, and yet another triumphant evening.
Yeah, it's a very familiar story, isn't it? One team, the underdogs, who have the chances, brilliant backing. They'll talk about that. They'll talk about the spirit. They'll talk about the way they went toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. But it's the familiar story, Paul Clement, at the end. It's Real Madrid's players who are running over there to all of their thousands of fans in the stand behind the goal there.
Wow, amazing. What about Real Madrid in this competition? Just incredible. You have to say, you know, congratulations to Dortmund to get to the final and play so well and make a great final. But in the end, Real Madrid had the know-how. They got the job done. An incredible record they've set in this competition.
Yep, they've got it. They've got the 15. La Quinceava is Real Madrid's, and it is a very, very familiar Champions League story that is played out here at Wembley Stadium. Borussia Dortmund 0, Real Madrid 2.